Taking over as the manager in an existing team or organization can be scary at times. Often the existing members of the team you'll be leading will already have a certain way of doing things and may be leery of someone moving from employee to supervisor. The first hurdle is proving that you are competent and prepared for the job while also prioritizing a team-building relationship. This can be a fine line to walk. Remember that the people that you're now managing have important information about the project, organization, or operations. There's always a honeymoon phase, but following a few simple steps can help extend this phase into a lasting working relationship with those you manage. First, it may sound cliche, but communication is key. Start by talking with the manager you're replacing if possible. Find out the current strengths and weaknesses of the team, current goals, any obstacles they've encountered, key team members, and any advice they may have. You may end up with different opinions over time, but this information gives you a jumping off point when starting. It's also important to communicate with your new employees. Take the time to meet with each of them immediately. While this may seem time-consuming, taking the time early on to meet one-on-one with employees builds a basis of trust and respect that makes it time well spent. In some cases, you may already know some of your team members, which means the one-on-one meetings will focus more on transitioning from peer to supervisor. Let them know that while the relationship will change, you're there to support them and work together to get the job done. Share your leadership style with them and what your expectations are. See what information they can provide you about project specifics. For those employees you don't already have an existing relationship with, take the time to get to know them. Ask them about themselves, their background, and their future goals. It's also a good idea to ask all employees what support they would need from you as the manager. The next step is setting goals and expectations with your team. Within the first 30 to 60 days of taking over the team, you'll want to meet to discuss expectations and desired outcomes. If the current ones meet your needs and philosophy, you can simply discuss how to continue moving forward and what supports are needed. However, your expectations may differ drastically from current practices. In this case, ask for employee input on making the necessary changes. Share your goals and expectations and see how your team can work with you to meet them. Remember, you don't need to rule with an iron fist to get things done. Let everyone know what you're looking for from them and how you'll measure their success. As discussed earlier, you may already know some of your team members. If you've been promoted from within the organization, some of your new employees may have once been your peers and friends. This can put both of you in a difficult position. Many organizations have an us versus them mentality, and by accepting the role of supervisor, you went from being an us to being a them. This can often be a hard pill to swallow, and changing your mindset can be difficult. While it's possible to maintain the friendship outside of work, the working relationship must change. It's important to draw a clear line between employee and friend. Having frequent lunches together and discussing events outside of work can very easily look like favoritism, and it can lead to distrust and loss of respect with other employees. The best thing to do is to have a conversation with your new employees to share what the relationship will look like moving forward. When you move from employee to supervisor, other aspects of the job change as well. You now have a different value, different duties, and different accountability. As an employee, you were probably valued for what you did for the company as an individual. As a supervisor, your value will now be determined by how others do because of your leadership. This means your goal and duties are now people-focused, and you have to learn a whole new set of skills that includes coaching, directing, evaluating, and disciplining. This also means that you're now accountable for the actions of others. If your team fails to meet a goal, the ultimate blame lands on your shoulders. As a supervisor, you're responsible for safety, legal, ethical, and compliance issues, as well as making sure work is getting done correctly and on time. This goes back to building those good working relationships where you can rely on your employees and they can rely on you.